I'm going to be your wagon master. They call me Cap. You're paying me good money to get you to Oregon City, Oregon, hopefully alive and well. Now, we're going to be traveling what's called the world's longest graveyard. Why in the world in 1852 are you wanting to go to Oregon? How about land? You see, Oregon had just become a United States territory in 1846 because of the Oregon Treaty. Now what that did was establish the 49th parallel, only this time all the way to the coast. You see, it was in contention between Great Britain and the United States as to who owned this land. The Treaty of 46 gives it squarely in the hands of the United States. Now when I say Oregon Territory, I don't mean the state of. What I mean is the piece of ground that is now occupied by the states of Washington, Oregon, all of Idaho, part of Montana, and part of Wyoming. You can see that's a pretty good sized chunk of real estate. Okay, but because of the fur trade, 1811 or so, all the way up to about 1840, there's more British citizens in the Oregon territories due to a company we know as Hudson Bay. They'd established trading posts and forts throughout the entire region with the express interest in settling it. Okay, so here we are. We got an Oregon Treaty given it to us in 46, got ratified in 48. By 1850, the Congress of the United States says, if we're going to keep this ground, we better occupy it. So they passed the Donation Land Act, which by 1852 gave everybody over the age of 18 160 acres, 320 acres for a married couple. Only place in the continental United States where you being a lady and all, your name can show up on the deed. Prior to that, you're married to this gentleman east of the Missouri River. He passes away. You don't even inherit his ground. It goes to his closest living male relative. That might even be you, huh? Okay. Now, I did this with a group of 20-somethings in here just a short while ago, and one of those gals looked at me and said, that sucks. And it does. You see, the government's going to honor that. They're going to give you the ground. But it's going to cost you a little much to get there. You see, the stipulation is that you go there and you work the land for 4 years. It's called proving up on it. You're now going to have to travel 2,000 miles. You're going to have to do it in $1,852. How old are you, young man?
9.
When you get to be 12, on my wagon train, you're going to have to pack one of these $20 rifles. Back in 1852, you could go around the corner here to Caleb's Gun Shop. You can buy yourself a 26-ounce sirloin steak with all of the fixings, including the coffee, and it'll cost you 7 cents. Average wage in Missouri in 1852 was about $3 a week, about $150 a year. Now, typical wagon on the Oregon Trail would haul enough gear and supplies for about 6 people. What do you think it's going to cost you to buy that wagon, buy the stock to pull that wagon in, put all your farming supplies on it, and all the food and supplies necessary to make the 5.5 months? What do you think it's going to cost you?
A few years of pay.
About 10 years.
Whoa.
As much as $1,500. About $1,200 to $1,500, as much as 10 years worth of wages for a single guy. Now what I said was a wagon of 6, and you automatically thought I was talking about a husband and wife and 4 kids. But what I was really talking about, and what happened a lot on the Oregon Trail, was 6 men. I even talked about 3 married couples, no kids at all, pooling their resources together to come up with one wagon. Okay? And they did so, knowing full well the 1 in 6 of them is going to die. Between 1838, when the Army Corps of Engineers started mapping the trail till the last wagons rolled through right here, Montpelier, Idaho, May 15, 1914. Nearly 500,000 people made the trip. But they lost about 16% of them. About 10% to cholera, and about 5% to accidents. Very, very small, minute percentage to Indians, which is what they were all afraid of. The truth of the matter is, and I don't care what Hollywood tells you, you're 100 times more likely to be shot by somebody in your own wagon train than you are by an Indian. There's 100 times more accidental gunshot fatalities on the Oregon Trail than there are Indian-related deaths. So I told you that twice now. What I really mean to say is we did a better job of shooting us off than they did. Okay, so knowing what it's going to cost you in lives and what it's going to cost you in dollars, are you still ready to make the trip?
Yeah.
Sure? Didn't sound like a bunch of resolve there. We still ready to go?
Amen.
Well, let's go buy a wagon.